The gifts of the little people. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills, lived two brothers, humble Hans and Greedy Gregor. Hans was kind-hearted and cheerful, always willing to lend a helping hand. Gregor, on the other hand, was as grumpy as a toad in a rainstorm and only cared about gold, gold, gold. One autumn evening, as Hans walked home from town, he heard a tiny voice crying for help. He followed the sound and discovered a little man stuck under a fallen branch. The man was no taller than a teapot, with a pointy hat and a long, twirling mustache. Hans quickly lifted the branch and freed the little man. "Ah, you have a kind heart," the tiny man said, dusting himself off. "For your kindness, I shall reward you. Tonight, go to the hollow tree at the edge of the forest and step inside." And just like that, poof! The little man vanished. Hans, always curious, followed the instructions. At midnight, Hans arrived at the hollow tree and stepped inside. Whoosh! Down, down, down he fell until he landed in the magical underground world. The little people were everywhere dancing, feasting, and laughing. "Welcome, Hans," they cheered. "Stay with us, eat, drink, and dance." For 3 days, Hans ate the most delicious food, drank sparkling golden cider, and danced until his feet ached. Finally, the little king approached. "It's time for you to return home," he said. "Take this bag, it holds a gift of gold and luck for a kind heart like yours." With a blink, Hans found himself back in the village, holding a heavy bag of gold. When Gregor saw Hans suddenly rich, his eyes nearly popped out like boiled onions. "Where did you get all that gold?" he demanded. Hans, being a good brother, told him everything. Gregor's greedy mind started spinning. If his foolish brother had been rewarded, surely he would get twice as much. That night, Gregor hurried to the forest and waited by the hollow tree. Whoosh! Gregor tumbled down into the little people's world, landing with a thump. The little people welcomed him just as warmly, inviting him to eat, drink, and dance. But Gregor had no interest in dancing or feasting. "I want gold," he snapped. "Give me your biggest treasure, and be quick about it." The little people exchanged mischievous grins. "Oh, of course," said the little king, stroking his beard. "Since you are in such a hurry, take this bag." Gregor grabbed the bag and whoosh! He was sent back to the village. Laughing greedily, Gregor tore open the bag expecting mountains of gold. But poof! Instead of gold, a swarm of tiny, mischievous creatures burst out. They climbed up his nose, pulled his ears, and yanked his hair. Gregor yelled and flailed, running in circles as the creatures chased him out of town. As for Hans, he lived happily ever after, sharing his fortune with the villagers and never forgetting the kindness of the little people. And Gregor? Well, let's just say no one ever saw him or his greedy ways again. Thank you for reading the story with me. Please subscribe Olivia's Storybook Corner for more fantastic stories. Bye-bye.